Hello and a very warm welcome to today's explainer. We are going to explore something quite revolutionary today. We're looking at how you can thoroughly enjoy eating bread without enduring those exhausting glucose spikes. If you love a good loaf, but your blood sugar absolutely doesn't, well, you are in exactly the right place. Let's get right into it.
Just take a quick look at the screen as I walk you through our highly structured agenda for today. First, we'll cover the new bread paradigm, then the 5 steps to stable sugar, followed by the master bread recipe, your baking timeline, and finally, the glycemic index proof to wrap it all up.
So, starting right off with section 1, the new bread paradigm, and how we're eliminating the glucose spike. Okay, let's dive into this. Our core principle here is that we can absolutely retain the taste and texture of bread without the negative health impacts. We know traditional wheat bread is deeply comforting, right? But unfortunately, it converts into pure glucose almost immediately, and that causes rapid, damaging insulin spikes. For far too long, we've just assumed that diabetic-friendly bread has to taste like cardboard. Actually, scratch that. It's a complete myth. By mastering 5 fundamental steps, we can eliminate those spikes while keeping the texture we all crave. Moving to section 2, the 5 steps to stable sugar. This is really the science of the bake, so please follow along closely with these upcoming visuals. If you look at the bowls right here on screen, step 1 is all about the foundation. We're completely swapping out refined wheat flour for a powerhouse combination of low glycemic alternatives. An almond flour base brings our glycemic index down to near 0, plus it gives us those great healthy monounsaturated fats. Then coconut flour adds brilliant structure without all the heavy carbs. And finally, throwing in whole seed blends like flax and chia creates this matrix in your gut that actively slows down digestion. It's a real game changer. Next, notice the sourdough culturing jar here for step 2, the fermentation method. This is such a beautiful ancient technique. By allowing an extended dough fermentation, we're talking 8 to 24 hours, wild yeast and lactic acid bacteria literally pre-digest the simple starches for you. This biological breakdown is incredible. It drops the final glycemic index down to an impressive 54. And, as a nice little bonus, it significantly improves mineral bioavailability compared to standard white bread. Now check out the spread of ingredients for step 3, where we bring in healthy fats and protein. You see, when we remove gluten, we need something else to provide structural elasticity, right? Well, whole eggs do exactly that, while massively boosting the protein density. Then we add extra virgin olive oil, ground flax seeds, and chia seeds. Their combined purpose? To significantly delay gastric emptying and stabilize exactly how fast sugar absorbs into your bloodstream. Step 4 is our cooling technique. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is the sheer molecular magic happening behind the scenes. Most of us want to slice right into bread the second it leaves the oven. I know I do. But wait, don't do it. By deliberately cooling freshly baked bread, or even chilling it overnight, the starches physically crystallize into resistant starch type 3. This brilliant starch passes completely unabsorbed through your intestine, acting exactly like dietary fiber. Negative 40%. I want to really emphasize that dramatic figure. By simply having the patience to let your bread cool and then perhaps toasting it before you eat it, you slash the resulting glucose spike by a staggering 40%. It's a massive dietary triumph, and it's achieved entirely through temperature control. How amazing is that? And that brings us to step 5, the golden rule of glycemic control, strategic meal pairing. Take a look at that delicious avocado and poached egg toast on screen. The rule here is to never, ever eat bread alone. Consuming carbs in isolation always triggers a sharper surge. So, by pairing your carefully baked bread with high-quality proteins, like that poached egg, and healthy fats from that avocado, you actively slow down your digestive transit time. That's what flatlines that glucose curve for good. All right, section 3, the master bread recipe. We're moving from food science to practical application now, unlocking the secret blueprint for the absolute ultimate loaf. Let's walk through these distinct rows together, because every single gram here has a purpose. We start with 224 grams of almond flour as our rich, low-carb base. Next, 35 grams of ground flaxseed, which acts as our essential soluble fiber binder. We use 4 large eggs to give us that strong protein structure, and 60 milliliters of extra virgin olive oil to delay gastric transit. Finally, we finish the whole shebang with 7 grams of baking powder for leavening and just 3 grams of salt for flavor. Section 4 is your baking timeline, taking us straight from prep to retrogradation. Let's make sure you're totally equipped to pace this out in your kitchen. Okay, looking at the timeline on the screen, step 1,
Always preheat your oven to 180 degrees Celsius, that's 350 degrees Fahrenheit, and prep your loaf pan. Step 2, thoroughly whisk those dry ingredients. Step 3, mix your wet ingredients separately, and then fold them into the dry until a smooth batter forms. And finally, step 4, you're going to bake for precisely 25 minutes. But remember our absolute rule, the retrogradation science, you must let it cool completely to form that essential resistant starch.
Section 5. The glycemic index proof. The final results. And this brilliantly illustrates exactly why all of this effort matters so much. I mean, just look at this chart. It's a massive wow moment. Commercial white bread sits at a highly dangerous glycemic index of 75. Whole wheat bread is honestly barely better at 59. Our sourdough technique drops it to 54. But our almond and flax loaf, it plummets to an incredibly low GI of just 25. That is a staggering 66% drop in glycemic load. By doing this, we have effectively literally eliminated the blood sugar spike. Dietary restrictions definitely do not have to mean a life devoid of culinary joy. You now have the science, you got the master recipe, and you can see the undeniable data right in front of you. So my question for you is, are you ready to take these low glycemic techniques straight into your own kitchen? Are you ready to enjoy delicious homemade bread every single day, completely free from the fear of a sugar spike? I challenge you to try this master recipe this week. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer, and happy baking!